This is our first official recording of the Great Enabler podcast to test the space, see that we're fit for the best types of guests.
Your approach, your values, what you think is right, what you think is wrong, and what you put forward to your client, that's actually in the end going to end you the project.
Build a team, have some challenges, deliver. And that's how you build your name.
You understand the business first. And from understanding the business, you then say, okay, fine, let's make the glove to fit.
I think this is typical of Sourcefin. We come up with an idea, we turn a boardroom into a space for a podcast, and we just make things happen.
The Great Enabler sort of piggybacks on that idea and that core philosophy that we've grown to love over the past 3-year journey. We're able to now share and enable SMMEs, maybe individuals in personal capacities, with our stories of success.
And in the short space of 3 years, we've figured out how to grow from startup, 2, 3, 4 people just hustling, figuring out how to do things, making mistakes, but learning. We know that there aren't enough thought leaders and podcasts out there to tackle various different things in South Africa, and to put our everything into this podcast.
We want to take businesses, SMMEs, individuals from where they are to where they're going and make that journey a little bit easier for them. So when I hear the word enable, it means providing someone or a business with the tools or the information or the knowledge or the wisdom that they need to elevate to the next level.
I want to be in a position where we can enable as many people as possible, grow our audience, make sure that people know what's out there, listen to some interesting stories, share wisdom, share thoughts, have interesting, engaging people. I think it's going to be a lot of fun as well.
There are different versions of success. But what I think is powerful is you and I and a lot of people in the office here, as well as the people we're going to speak to, they've gone through that journey. They've tried, they've failed. We learned those lessons and we're able to share those lessons with the next people that join the company so that some people can accelerate their growth journey and accelerate their road to success. What's powerful about this podcast is we might be sharing wisdom with one person, and someone that hasn't even heard of the Great Enabler podcast will receive it from someone they've had a conversation with. There's an exponential increase of value.
The 3 stages of life: the learn, the earn, and the return. So your first 25 years you're learning, your next 25 years you're earning, and your final 25 years you give back, you return. If we do our jobs right as hosts, we can extract that sort of mentorship, those nuggets you spoke about, and pass them on to as many people as possible. You can always learn from a person. I always find that any meeting, any opportunity, anytime you're having coffee with somebody, it doesn't matter who it is, there's always an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to listen. That's what makes me excited about doing this podcast. I guess I want this space for every listener to feel like they're sitting here with us, having a coffee, having a beer, whatever it is, and getting the opportunity to just talk to somebody that they would never in real life be able to just speak to. I mean, you and I could tell stories about things we've seen and done at Sourcefin in the last 3 years that we could write a book. Could just talk to you about our problematic deals and the lessons I've learned there. And the truth is, that's far more interesting than our successful deals. The hardest and worst deals are the ones where we learned the most. That's the truth.
The audience should be encouraged to feel like their questions are being asked.
South Africa has been the center of a lot of news for a lot of different reasons, and let's unpack it. Let's speak to people. Let's hear their ideas. So if there's certain guests that the audience wants us to get hold of, we'll get hold of them and we'll make sure that we can bring them onto our show. We've got such amazing people around us, young professionals that we interact with every single day. I think we should try and match the guest with almost like an expert host, and also see what our audience wants. We open to ideas. We want to enable. We want to reach as many people and make as much of a difference as we can.
It's about pairing the host that's most likely to get to the truth. If we can do that effectively, we're hoping that the truth in some way enables. How should our viewer interact with this podcast in a way that they're not just listening to stories, but they're taking the nuggets of wisdom and implementing them into their own lives?
Finding a mentor and having a mentor invest time is something so unique, and not everybody's provided with that opportunity. I was really blessed to have, in the 2 different industries I've worked in, at the top people in their space personally mentor me every single day. But not everybody has that opportunity. I was genuinely fortunate to land myself in that position. I hope that we can bring on mentor type people, captains of industry, interesting people. I know that I'm carrying things from 6-7 years ago that my mentor taught me. I do it every single day, in my routine, built in, hard-coded into what I do. And I'm hoping in that space you can take out things and translate them into your every single day.
There's a strong tie to the calabash. When we think calabash, we think of a bowl, we think of people sitting around a circle, traditionally African, sharing stories, sharing wisdom, the African proverbs, That's why it's such an apt symbol for our podcast. The people around the circle sharing that calabash could be anyone from all walks of life. We're going to be enabling you in a number of different ways. It's not necessarily just business. It could be relationships. It could be interpersonal skills. It could be a whole number of things, whether it's their business wisdom, whether it's their personal wisdom. They're going to share that. And our job as hosts is to make sure we're extracting as much of that wisdom, as much of that vulnerability as we can.
Our parents and grandparents, those type of generations, you got your knowledge from books, you got your knowledge from school. Internet's provided access to so much information to everybody, it really has. And I think South Africa's no different. We're at that stage now where people are looking for 45 minutes, an hour to listen to people that have done it, they're successful. There's much more opportunity. Because we want to enable people to have that access, to be able to listen to people. Listen to somebody that's built a $1 billion business, a famous artist, built up a brilliant restaurant, whatever it is. As the host, I want to make sure that we can extract wisdom, extract information, guidance, and listen to the best in the business in multiple different industries and fields.
The university degree, that certificate that we get at the end of it, is a great stepping stone or a gateway to something better. But the real learning starts when we get into the real world. That's the power of this podcast, is we're going to be sharing stories and hearing stories from people that have been there, done that. They've been in the real world.
As a young South African, if you are looking to learn about more than just what you're going to read in your economics textbook,
of course,
where do you go? How do you find it? How can you have that chilled but informative conversation and access and speak to your mates about it? Bridging that would be huge if we can get there.
Ceteris paribus, I think, is the word.
Yeah.
All things equal, this is what happens if this happens. The problem is, in the real world, ceteris paribus doesn't exist.
No
Everything's
control.
happening at the same time. And that's where things get interesting. And that's where real life examples of real life people doing extraordinary things in a non-ceteris paribus universe,
For sure.
is super powerful to take on into your own life. Sometimes you get caught up in a lot of listening, a lot of reading, with being scared to execute. We hope this sets a platform for people to listen, to hear, to internalize, but to wake up and do. Don't get bogged down in the audio. Don't get bogged down in the YouTube video. Take what's said and see how you can apply it in a way that elevates you, enables you, gets you up to the next level.